Let's get into part two of Genius Leadership Basics. Folks, there's not going to be 1,000 of these, but because you'll find the people that do really great things, they keep it simple. They got it simple in their own mind. And what you want to do is you can't make it simple. The point about these videos is you can't keep it simple if you're trying to figure out what it is. So the first step we talked about before is what is it you're going to be doing, who you're going to be doing it with, and when. That's the time, the team, the goals, that type of stuff. But once you've got that going and you're clicking along, you're moving, someone has hit the gun, we're off. Now what? How do you got your team in motion? And you know what happens when you get started off on journeys, adventures in life? Here's why you need the leader. Here's where the problem comes in. Because things go wrong. Have you ever had that happen to you? Anytime you have a game plan, anytime you start off on a mission, things go wrong that you could have never expected. And so how do you handle that? You can't understand the basics and you can't be a genius in leadership if you don't know how to handle things when they go wrong. First of all, you would say you've got to realize it comes in the area of, let's go back over here, attitude and adjustments. These are the things you've got to understand if you want to be a great leader. And once you're clicking off, once the clock has, the gun has sounded, boom, you're off. You get off into the heat of battle. You're running your race. Things start to go wrong. What do? You got to have a plan. Genius leaders know how to handle it. So let's talk about the first thing you want to have is keep attitude up. You allow for mistakes. People are going to make mistakes. I'd refer you to, I've got a video out on how to handle things when things go wrong, a perspective about mistakes. But 90% of the time, things are going to go along pretty much as planned, but 10% is going to go wrong. And sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not your fault, but you got to allow for mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And so you've got to be able to allow for mistakes without falling apart. And you've got to keep people focused on the end result, how much time they've got left. And it's just like Tiger Woods in the last major over the British Open. He had the thing, he was in the tournament, it was on Sunday. It's been 7 years or something since he's won a major. He put all the pressure on it. This is going to be the time he won the first major, and he got all the critics off his back. He goes out there and he has a couple of bogeys to kick the round off, and he just went into a meltdown. He didn't know how to manage himself. And this is the thing. You've got to know how to keep your attitude up and keep your perspective. See, this is all about perspective, or you're not going to be able to keep everybody else's up. And you've got to not be so wrapped up to the point where you can't entertain the possibility that sometimes you're going to get beat. But if you do get beat and your attitude is up, that defeat can be temporary. You can quickly turn things around. There's always tomorrow. There's always another fight, another race, another challenge. And you can use that as a position to win the next time. So when things start going south on you, surprises come up, interruptions, people drop the ball, disappoint you, keep your perspective, focus on the end result. For perspective, focus on positives. It'll never be perfect, but if your attitude is up and you keep yourself focused on the positives, that's how you maximize your chances for winning. That's what the genius leaders do. Now, what's the next one? Adjustments. Every plan is great until you get started. You're going to have to make adjustments. That's what winning is. The great coaches, the great leaders, if they want to win, they make winning adjustments. You can't go in with this fixed thing. You want to stay with your game plan, but when you see that's not working, you don't throw the whole game plan out the window, but you keep making adjustments and you monitor it, just like a pilot in a plane. They have their game plan, they have the plot, from New York to London, but they know there's going to be weather. There's going to be winds come up. There's going to be storms. There's going to be things. And so they're going to have to steer it. That's all it is steering. When you drive the car, you get it out on the interstate, but you still have to steer. You still have to occasionally hit the brakes. Somebody dives in front of you trying to get around you. You have to drive this thing. So don't be surprised. The game plan is, hey, I want to go from Atlanta to Dallas. I'm going to go on I-40, leaving or I-20. I'm going to leave Atlanta, head west. But if there's a detour, well, I'll go around here. We'll get back on track at Birmingham. You make adjustments and you keep your attitude up because you say, hey, folks, we can make up some time here. It's only going to cost us a few minutes there. And that's what the great leaders do. They keep the attitude up as they make their adjustments and they keep people moving forward. You're not going to be able to win with your team if you can't be the one to help keep attitudes up so they can do what they need to do with a clear mind, get their mind back on business rather than what went wrong, and have confidence that you're in charge of making the adjustments, giving them other ways of winning if the first approach looks like isn't going to work. Attitude and adjustments. That's how you steer your team to victory. That's what the genius leaders do. We'll be looking for your comments. Maybe you've had some experience in this arena. Also, you're welcome to subscribe, like so many are doing, to our channel, and we can learn together.